Hey everybody, before I get started with this triple threat movie review, I want to thank Tony Town for making me this awesome thumbnail. And along with Adjust Your Track and Mad Max Fury Road, I'm also including the infamous 1980s movie Gymkata with gymnast Kurt Thomas starring in it. Now, I hope you like this review, everybody. And thank you again, Tony, my good friend, awesome friend, Tony. Oh, this guy's wearing blue. I hope he's not copying George. Oh, my God. That was really good. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here with a movie review, and it is a movie called Adjust Your Tracking, the untold story of the VHS collector. And what this is, movie made in 2013. I think John Walker said it was shown at the Horror Fest. And I didn't know the movie existed. I saw like the cover art. He had like a little poster of it. And I finally got this chance to see it. I didn't find out about it until early this year. And what it's about is they interview all these people and talk about the glory days of the VHS. And collecting VHS tapes and movies, including specifically the horror films. Like I'm a fan of. And it has two real celebrities, Lloyd Kaufman from Troma and also Tony Timpone from Fangoria Magazine. And if you're a fan of Fangoria Magazine like I am, you'll probably be disappointed when you see that the issue of Fangoria now is like $10. I don't know if it's gone troubled times or something like that, but I mean, last time I was at the mall, it was a long time ago, at Hot Topic. I checked the magazine. I saw they had Fangoria. I haven't seen a Fangoria in a long time. And like $10 for an issue. It's probably more now. The magazine's getting really expensive. Well, anyways, the movie opens up. It's a documentary. It opens up with a blue screen. And then you hear the sound of a VHS tape loading in the machine, then getting ready to play. It says play. And you hear the static, and then you see the FBI warning, and then it starts. And it's really a neat movie. I really enjoy it. It's like a love letter to the VHS tape. And it talks about these guys collecting movies. They talk about Wizard Video. And they talk about some unusual videos like Tales from the Quad Dead Zone, which I never saw it. And then I guess there's Black Devil Doll from Hell from the same person who did that, and that's on YouTube. I should probably watch it sometime. I saw little clips of it. It's really bad. And Tales from Quad Dead Zone's no different. And they're talking about collecting movies, and they said that that was like a very rare tape, and it has like people spend like $600-700 for it. Like, that's crazy. But I remember back in the 80s, I mean, they used to sell like a copy of E.T. used to go sell for like $300. I remember the most expensive. I mean, when I was in Germany, VHS tapes started to go down, and there were companies like Video Treasures and Good Times Video that sold movies from like certain movies from like Columbia or I don't know if it was Universal or something like that. Like Good Times would have like Things Are Tough All Over, Cheech and Chong or Richard Pryor Live on Sunset Strip for like around $5. But some of the videos, usually when I was in the army, they usually were like $16.99 or less. I remember when I got out of the army, I remember I saw someone was selling in '91. I remember there was a copy of Basic Instinct selling for $100. I don't know if that was a brand new release, and then they had like the previously reviewed movies like $9.99. And talking about these people that have like these rooms with shelves and shelves and shelves of like anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 movies, mostly horror, which is cool. And they talk about some films I never heard of before, like Things and Things Too. I never heard of those movies. Believe it or not, I'm the horror guy. I mean, some of these movies might whiz by because, I mean, going to the local video store, I don't know, some of these movies might have fallen through the cracks, and they talk about Wizard Video, and I know about Wizard Video. And that was really neat. And this one, they had like a spotlight on this one guy, and he had like a downstairs in his basement, he had like an actual video store. And he bought all this stuff from like going out of business video stores, including like the counter they have. He said he had to cut it in half to fit it in his basement. He got counter. He got all the shelves, including organized by category, action. There's Maggie. How about they have cat videos on there, huh, Maggie? Why do they have cat videos on there? You gonna have cat videos on there, Maggie? What are you doing on a coffee maker? Maggie, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kitty? Maggie. Ooh, Maggie. Say hi to everybody. Oh, yeah, hi, come on. Hey! I'm sorry, Maggie. There you go. She don't like being held. I thought I held her anyways. I'm not hurting her. She loves me and I love her. And he even had like a giant bubblegum dispenser from Blockbuster Video, like the huge giant one where the gumball would spiral down when you put a quarter in it. However, he had the one that didn't have a key to it. So, I mean, I guess he can't get the money out then. Or fill it up again. I mean, it's a really neat movie. I really enjoyed it. It brings back a lot of memories. And they're talking about VHS making a comeback. And they talked about a couple movies coming back, especially on VHS. I don't think it's going to make that big of a comeback and stuff like that. But, I mean, that's what they were saying. And it's a cool love letter because I grew up in the 80s where the VHS came out. And they even talked about, with that guy with the video order store, they even talked about Betamax. Which is like the video that kind of like went downhill and crashed and burned. Even though I was told that it was a better, they played better as a better format, but Betamax never caught on, and they were like smaller VHS tapes. Basically, I knew like maybe one person owned that, and then when I was in Germany in the army, I had a friend that had a Betamax, and they had to get a regular VCR. But they had at the libraries in both in on Garlston, on the post in Garlston and Bremerhaven, they actually had Betamax tapes. And actually, the Betamax tapes had a better selection because no one was renting them. And that's the last I seen of Betamax tapes when I left Germany. But I mean, he had Betamax tapes and stuff like that. They were talking about. It's really a very entertaining thing. They talk about the clamshell cases, which are the ones that are the tough rubber one, plastic ones, open and shut like that, or like the big long package ones. You know that if you remember, like a lot of stuff from Wizard Video or Continental had the big long ones, and then they changed. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. That's a full-on 10 out of 10. It brings back a lot of memories of the 80s. And I remember, and they're talking about the mom and pop video stores closing. I remember there was still one that opened up in Albion. Well, there was one I was a member of since 85. Well, I'll talk about Albion. In 85, they used to rent movies at Surefine. And now they do. I mean, they stopped renting VHS tapes at Surefine. Then they had, they didn't rent them, and then they have something called Frog Video, which is like kind of like Redbox with DVDs. They have that. I don't know if they still have that or not. I should look. I think they still do. But they used to rent VHS tapes in the 80s. I remember getting some tapes from down there. There was a place called Family Video. No, it was just Family Home Video or something like that. And I remember my dad got me a membership there. That's when you used to have to pay like $30 and stuff like that for a yearly membership. And now they, if you signed up as time went on, a membership used to be free. When the army in Germany, they used to charge like $5 for membership. I think Blockbuster, when I went to a Blockbuster, the very first Blockbuster I ever went to, I think they charged you like $3 for a membership. That was in back in '91 in Fort Detrick, Maryland. I'm going all over the place with this. But they had that Family Video Exchange was around for a long time, and then it went out of business in 96, 97, 98. And then a new video store opened up in Albion called Final Cut, and it rented both VHS and DVDs. And no one was renting the VHS tapes, and there was a whole cool selection of that. And that opened up in 96, 97, and I think it went under in like 2004, 2005. I could be wrong about the dates. I can't remember. But that was like the last independently owned VHS store. I mean, it was a Blockbuster in Edinburgh close to Walmart, and then whenever the guy raised the rent, that went out of business in like 2009, 2010, along with Dollar Tree, which really sucked. You know, I like Dollar Tree, and a lot of the businesses went out of business because the guy raised the rent. And what are some other stores? Also in the 80s, there was a place called Home Video Exchange in close to the bowling alley in Edinburgh, right across from the Edinburgh Mall, and then it became Papa Rops. And I used to go to Home Video Exchange a lot and rent movies, especially the horror films. My dad was always bitching, all they have here is horror films. You know, and that's what, but I thought it was really cool. And then when that was sold over, I think Greg Ropp, or his parents bought that, it became Papa Rops Video. But they used to have like a thing in Edinburgh, it was like either family, Home Video Exchange, which was called Lampman's, that's who owned it, or Knight's Video Store. And everyone said, oh, the cool kids go to Knight's Video Store. I never went to that place. That was like right on the other side of Edinburgh. I think it's a laundromat now. You know, these have went out of business in a while. And no, but I had like lots of really good experience with VHS, and it was cool looking through all these places. And there was lots of home video stores in both Fort Detrick and Fort Bragg, outside of Fort Bragg. And also you go to the library, in the military library, and they had VHS tapes you could rent. And those rentals were always free. Lots of memories and stuff like that. I don't know what happened to the, you know, they eventually went out of business, all the VHSs and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a great movie. It brings back a lot of memories, especially if you grew up in the 80s. And then they were talking about, like, in the 70s, like the top loader VCR with a wire remote. I had a wire, we had the very first VCR we had was a wire remote, but it was a front loading VCR. And I remember when we first were able to record a TV show, we were happy as hell. We recorded that bloopers and they did like a ripoff of Bloopers and Practical Jokes on ABC with Steve Lawrence and Don Rickles. I can't remember what it was called. It's real cutesy though. I remember we made a copy of that, and we made a copy of Hound of the Baskervilles when that was on CBS Late Night with the old classic Basil Rathbone one, and also the Chuck Norris movie Eye for an Eye, where it was when they used to have Embassy Night at the movies. So I mean, lots of good stuff. I'm all over the place with this review, but I mean, I have lots of fond memories of VHS tapes. I think digital is the way to go now. You know, it is what it is. A lot of these VHS things are probably lost. There was a couple that I wish I would have gotten when I was in the Army. They had a decent selection of VHS tapes, but there's lots of these movies I never heard of before, like Thing 1, Thing and Thing 2, not to be confused with Cat and Hat. Lots of great things. I really enjoyed the film. A full on 10 out of 10 for, if you get a chance, Adjust Your Tracking, the untold story of the VHS collector. But I'm just going to call it Adjust Your Tracking in the title. So I really liked the movie. Full on 10 out of 10. So until next time, bye, please. Take care, my Legion. I hope you like this personal history, too, of some of my VHS watching. I mean, I still rent a VHS, but not as much. And they had a fun fact. Whenever DVD, it took a little while for DVD to really make its mark. You know, 'cause I remember they had like an issue on, you know, it came out when it wasn't that popular. People were still doing VHS. And they had a thing, they said the very last commercially, because they used to have the movies come out both in VHS and DVD a long time ago. And they said the very last movie to officially come out, original commercial box office film that be released on DVD was A History of Violence. I remember buying that from New Line Video. And a great movie from David Cronenberg, by the way. So I hope you like this review of Adjust Your Tracking. And until next time, bye, please. Take care, my Legion. I hope it brings back some memories from your the older viewers out there. I mean, like I said, DVD, Blu-ray. I don't have a Blu-ray player. I think digital is the way to go now. You know, it's just easier. But I don't know. It brought back a lot of memories if you're like someone like me. Oh, and I also had reviewed some of the people from one of the guys from Cinema Wasteland was speaking on there too. They interviewed like different people, and you know, I mean, I did some business with them in the 2015 Horror Fest and Erie Horror Fest. So, like I said, 10 out of 10. Adjust your tracking. So until next time, bye. Please take care, my legion. It's still flashing. Hey, my legion. I'm back with the rest of my movie reviews. I'm gonna be, along with Mad Max Fury Road, I'm also going to include the movie Gymkata. I have to. And Mad Max Fury Road is the triumphant return of Mad Max. This was in the summer 2015. I remember watching commercials of this movie with my dad before he passed. And, I mean, there's still lots of stuff that I'm going to mention my dad about, you know, because he was a pretty cool guy. I don't know if he was too keen on seeing the movie. I finally got to see it after all this time, and I really enjoyed it. It was really a spectacular film, because sometimes when a movie is real successful, like in the 80s and stuff like that, and they bring it back, it can be a tremendous flop. I mean, because I know Blade Runner's coming back. I hope they don't screw Blade Runner up, because I remember I loved the original Blade Runner. But in this one, it starts out, there's so much creativity in this film. I mean, it's really a monumental achievement. And with technology as it is, they could do so much more than they could back then. But the CGI helped the movie, because I know so many times CGI hurts the film, but CGI actually helped it this time. I really enjoyed the film. Lots of action. I love the metal sequences when they were playing. They're doing a big percussion on the drums, and they had like someone doing a electric guitar and it shoots out fire and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. The whole thing was cool, and I love the explosions. Everything was really neat in the film. And it involves this girl, Charlize Theron, taking these girls that were called breeders. One guy had a baby with a real bad guy, and she was going to take them to like a promised land and keep them safe. And then Mad Max ended up falling. I mean, even though it seems like, in a lot of ways, it seems like she was more of a star than Mad Max was. But it was a really cool film. I liked it. And this is the one time that Mel Gibson did not play Mad Max. I can't remember the guy's name that played it, though. But it was a really cool film. My only complaints were, because I had complaints with Rogue One. I thought the first half hour, 40 minutes were very slow, and then it picked up, and I still gave it a perfect score. It was so awesome. This one is about the same way, but in reverse. I think the first half hour of action, after that was over with, it started to slow down, and I think whatever action they had after that didn't compare to the first half hour. And also I had trouble understanding what some of the people were saying. But aside from that, I really liked the movie. I really dug it. I think it's a very rich film, very creative action film, and deserved to win all the Academy Awards that it did. And that's cool, because it's cool whenever audience favorite can be in the Academy Awards. Like, I remember in '77, I know my mother and I got in a big argument over this. Star Wars was nominated for Best Picture. My mom was like, it was not. It was not. It was right there in the TV guide said that, look, I ain't looking. It was not. But, I mean, it really was. I mean, it was, yeah, I don't know. I think she just wanted to argue with me. But no big deal. It's a great movie, though. I give it a full-on 10 out of 10. And also, I remember Raiders of the Lost Ark, when that came in, that was nominated for Best Film. And the year that Star Wars was nominated, I think Annie Hall won, the Woody Allen Annie Hall won for Best Film Picture that year, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Or Annie Hall came out in 78. It either came out in 77, 78. But it's a full-on 10 out of 10. I really liked it, despite some gripes about it, but it's a really good film. Now, next is Gymkata, and Gymkata was on Underground on TCM, because TCM Saturday nights usually have the Underground, and usually there's some great low budget or like cult classics. And Gymkata was notorious for being an atrociously bad film in the mid '80s, and it was featured first movie to feature Olympic gold medalist at gymnastics, Kurt Thomas. And basically he goes to Pakistan to play this game that no Americans won in 900 years because everybody gets killed. And he ends up fighting terrorists, kind of going whitewater rafting where people, that didn't make any sense. And then he fights this thing, and everybody kills everybody. Like, I mean, if you don't do an obstacle, you get killed. If you break the rules, you get killed. You get hit in the back with a spear, or hit in the face, or shot with an arrow. It's really bad. It's so funny. And badly acted. But I will say, Kurt Thomas was a real deal. He was a real gymnast, and he does, like, backflips really well, and, like, the high kicks. And there was a scene where he was on a horse, kicking all these people. I mean, he's really good at that, but just the movie is so atrociously bad. And I want to say, Tony, if you get a chance, please see this horrible movie. And do a review of it, please. Then this is one of the times where I wish my dad was still around to check this out, because he'd laugh his ass off like I did. Well, I laughed during the first hour. And then the second hour, I mean, he ends up being in the land of the crazy people, which is just weird and stupid. I mean, the rest of the movie the first hour was stupid and funny, and the last half hour was, wow, the 20 minutes when he was stuck in there was really bad. And that wasn't funny, or it was just weird and dumb. And at the very end, it's not a spoiler, they say it doesn't have anything to do with the movie. It says in 1985, the Earth warning system was placed in Pakistan, part of the Star Wars program. That had nothing to do with anything in the movie. That was dumb. Why did you put that in the end of the film? I mean, that's not a spoiler. That was just saying something stupid. My dad would be laughing his ass off. So they had some really bad parts, like these, when these guys were climbing these ropes over this raging waters, and the guy gets shot with an arrow. You think the guy falls, and you think he's going to hit the one, and he hits the rocks. That was really funny. And then it happened again. This guy almost gets done. This guy hits him in the face, and he falls off. And then there's a scene where Kurt Thomas throws this guy off a balcony, and the guy goes, ouch! It's so dumb, but I mean, I really had a good time with it. I think it got bogged down whenever they go on the land of the crazy people, so I give that an 8 out of 10. So there you have my reviews of Adjust Your Tracking, Mad Max Fury Road, and Gymkata. I hope you like this triple threat movie review. And thank you again, Tony Town, made me the awesome thumbnail. And like I said, until next time, I truly love you guys. And I like doing these videos. I like doing these movie reviews. I like doing stuff all just for you, because you're all my good friends. And like I said, until next time, everybody, please take care of my allegiance.